As you can see there, the crowd are packing out this Spodek Arena here in Katowice. We're super excited to bring you to StarCraft 2. We've already had 2 great games. First one, I think, let's just talk about those first 2 matches before we get into our third game. Third game's not too far away. The first match was magical. I mean, you know, we couldn't have asked for a better start to the day, Todd. And didn't quite live up to the hype on the second one, though.
I think it was a pretty good match. Very quick games, which I'm sure people would have liked to see longer games, but it was really nice. All the mind games that were going on, Sand completely outdoing his opponent. That's always an impressive thing to do. Obviously, could have been better, but still pretty good in my book.
Okay, now apparently the players are ready on stage, waiting to come out and hear your support. So please make a lot of noise for both of our players for our third game. I think you might like them.
And we're ready for our third match of the day, and our first match with a Terran. But first we bring out from Sweden, another Protoss player. Please cheer really loudly for NaNiwa. And his opponent from Korea, our Terran, Polt. Please walk to the booth. All right, and we're going to hear what our experts have to say about this match.
Okay, thank you very much, Jarrett. Once again, a big thanks to Jarrett for stepping in for us today and helping us out with some hosting on the stage. I will be returning to that stage tomorrow, and In Control will be taking over here on the anchor desk. Matt veto time, Polt versus NaNiwa, and chaps, I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm a bit super nerdy excited for it.
Yeah, so am I. I think one thing that really shone through from Intel Extreme Masters Cologne was that Polt stands on top of the world when it comes to this matchup.
Yeah, no, he is Sir Polt of Terran. He is the Knight of Terran. He's the only guy that has recently shown us how you can be a Protoss player at the top level being a Terran.
Yeah, I think Polt definitely the huge favorite here, but one thing to keep in mind, one of the biggest tournaments of last year was WCS World Finals Season 2, in which NaNiwa beats Innovation in.
Yep.
After you've beaten Innovation, there really isn't any Terran that you have no chance against. And again, here, this is a huge tournament. I'm sure that NaNiwa, he's thought out his builds as always, and he's going to try to bring his best game to Polt.
Habitation is removed, and Heavy Rain removed by Polt. No real surprise on that. Let's take a look at the order in just a moment.
Yeah, just alleviating any pressure in terms of like having to deal with those blink plays on a map like Heavy Rain, very important. But also it can become a factor on other maps such as Yonsu, for example.
Yeah.
So maybe we will see that factored in once this gets going.
Yeah, be a surprise, Todd, wouldn't it, to see Yonsu early on?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yonsu, Heavy Rain, Daedalus, the blink maps. This could be a big tell as to what NaNiwa might want to go into. Daedalus as first map here. And it's going to be a good matchup too, because Polt is shown how good he is versus that blink play that forces have been going for every so often. And with the 3 racks, you know, remember all that happened in Cologne. For those of you who missed that, first of all, you're going to have to go back and watch the VODs after today's broadcast.
Absolutely.
And as a reminder, I'm going to tell you, Polt basically likes to get 3 racks up early on. After getting a Reaper, he always places them really well. He gets a lot of Bioforces out, and he's very active with them too. He doesn't sit back at home waiting for the Protoss to attack. He moves out. He's always able to make the best out of situations. And then Frost, Yonsu, Polar Knights, pretty interesting maps, yeah.
But I've got to ask Todd, if you are opening up like we see or saw Polt doing with the 3 racks play, you identify that as the Protoss, the medevacs are going to be delayed, right? So how do you deal with that as a Protoss? I guess you can just sit back and play greedy.
Yeah, we saw a few good things that were used. Playing it safe, getting the minimum amount units to be able to defend, and going to something like Double Forge could be very good for you.
Yes.
Okay, so these 2 players, seemingly from the crowd anyway, do have a fairly equal bit of support, and I don't think that it's that surprising, because Polt, of all of the Koreans, perhaps, is the guy that has kind of taken to the Western world best. I mean, he really does speak the language very well now. He's obviously being educated in America, loves the foreign tournaments, attends them whenever he can, has done really well at them as well. He won WCS America twice last year in regular play. And so he seems to be well supported and well liked. And obviously being a Terran, he's kind of the underdog at the moment as well, which is always helpful. But NaNiwa, he's kind of in Europe at least, not on home ground, home soil, but should, in theory, have the support of the crowd. What difference is that going to make on his birthday?
That's a very good question.
Or am I barking up the wrong tree? Because
that is a good question.
There is the other school of thought that he just hasn't been playing much.
Yeah, there is that school of thought. But again, I think we have to come back to Polt when we look at how he performs in this matchup and his mentality towards everything. Like, he never really looks down. He never really looks dejected. He's always smiling and always with a positive mindset when entering these games. I think he sees NaNiwa as a player who he has such a good, strong advantage over because of how strong he is in this matchup.
There is a huge question mark, actually, for me on how NaNiwa is going to play here, and I don't care how much he practiced, actually. What's more important to me is how much did he prepare himself mentally for this, and I know for a fact that he's been watching tournaments, because he tweets about them all the time. Every time there is a game, in particular a controversial one, he's the first one to go on Twitter and tweet about it. So he's been following the scene, and even if he hasn't practiced all that much, he's gonna know here what to go into this match with, which I'm gonna make a small prediction here. I think NaNiwa is gonna play a lot with Blink into Colossus, or this kind of style, as much as possible against Polt.
So, the 24-year-old from Sweden is almost ready, and he has had a remarkable season in the Intel Extreme Masters Season 8. He has already finished second once when he absolutely had to in order to get to BlizzCon for WCS points. Let's take a look at his road to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters New York City. The last foreign hope, NaNiwa!
NaNiwa versus Sun, this is an exclusive match we've got happening here.
That's dead. NaNiwa wants to advance to the semifinals. GG's. The Swede continues. The foreign hope stays alive here at the Intel Extreme Masters.
He has become the eternal foreigner hope.
NaNiwa with a proxy 2 game number 5 is going to be victorious. GG!
You can tell when he's hungry and he wants it. He is a very difficult player to beat, and you saw how much he loved playing in front of that crowd. And the crowd here are absolutely tremendous. I don't think he's going to get a better chance to play in front of a large, passionate crowd here in Europe this year. And they are going to be right behind him. Let's move our thoughts across to Polt. He is the twice WCS American champion. Didn't perhaps perform the way that we thought he would at BlizzCon. I know that he was very disappointed about it, but immediately came out of the blocks at the start of the year and got to the final at Cologne. Didn't quite make it all the way. Liquid Hero just too strong for him in the final, but showed us just how strong his TVP was.
Yeah, he only played against Protosses there, and he did great. It was insane seeing him match after match with what I guess you could call a similar style in every game. Just being able to pull it off, changing small things here and there, but really making it work for himself, that one build. And it's his style overall in all matchups too. Against Zerg, he has this one go-to build that he always goes back to. That makes him predictable, but he's just so good at it that it doesn't matter. And here, again, a big question mark is going to be, how does NaNiwa try to deal with it? Because right now, I'm telling you for sure, NaNiwa has studied Polt. He knows what he's going to be up against.
Okay, the 25-year-old CM Storm representative has also recently cobbled together some more sponsors as well. It's great to see him here at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. He got here, of course, due to that second place in Cologne, and we can take a look back at exactly how he did it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. The winner of this guarantees a spot in the winner-takes-all $100,000 World Championship final.
but they're still split. A few of the storms on the bottom right-hand side here kill off a lot of those Vikings very, very quickly, but at the same time, a lot of Rain's army is also melting. Polt, he's absolutely looked amazing against the best in the world.
He's the Knight of Terror.
The Vikings are going to town on the Colossi. Rain is going to die off here. Polt is going to be victorious. 90 army supply against 17. The units tries to bring down the high Templar. One of them ends up falling. So the second one. And meanwhile, right on that right-hand side, this is a perfect opportunity for Polt to seal it. GG, I don't believe it. Polt, after 5 games, is victorious.
Great memories from Cologne. He really did rip through the bracket until he got to the final. Very emotional man as well. Captain America, as Todd likes to call him, and many others do as well. It really has been adopted. I think this is almost America versus Sweden right now between these two. We are going to move on to the predictions. You guys at home have been predicting in your thousands on facebook.com/IEM. Let's find out what you think is going to be the outcome of this game. NaNiwa or Polt? I've got a sneaky suspicion I know where this is going. Let's have a look. Wow!
Oh, wow.
Polt 77-23.
Yeah.
Holy Captain America.
Not sure what to say about this.
No, that's the biggest one we've had so far. So that's the community predictions, okay? 77-23. I was shocked to see it that high. I thought it was going to be Polt, but that's a lot higher. Let's take a look at the commentators' predictions for this match. They're coming. There we go. So, Polt all the way across. They're in line with the viewers. But there is one man who stands out again. He's gone out on a limb, and he's gone with his fellow European Protoss bro. Why?
Go big or go home.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Really?
I don't know if this strategy of yours is going to work, man.
It hasn't worked so far.
But you know, like, I keep failing so far, but the one time it works, I'm going to look like a genius, and everybody's going to forget about all the times I was wrong.
Well, that's what we said earlier on, wasn't it? Okay, right. Don't forget, you can carry on predicting all of the matches at facebook.com/IEM, of course. Almost time now for our third match in the round of 16. Remember, it's now or never for all of these players. They win, they stay in with a shot at the $100,000. They lose, they go home with nothing but their bus fare. Time now to go over to our commentary team. This one is headed up by the AA team of Artosis and Apollo.
Thank you very much, Paul, and everyone at that analysis desk. This match, it's a pretty exciting one, Apollo Mictosis.
Apollo Mictosis. It is a pretty exciting one, Audi Mictosis.
Yeah, I mean, it's NaNiwa going up against Polt, 2 huge fan favorites. The best foreigner of all time, I think you have to give him. I mean, you could argue Stefano, I suppose, or Ija or Scarlet, but he's definitely right up there. I mean, if StarCraft 2 goes on for 1,000 years, like we all hope it will,
yeah,
you still are going to hear about NaNiwa and the legends of NaNiwa and what this man has done. And on top of that, it's his birthday. And everyone deserves to be happy on their birthday.
You think he's happy on his birthday right now, Artosis?
I don't know. I think it's going to matter how well this match goes for him. If he wins, yeah, that's going to be a happy birthday for him.
And if he loses,
well,
maybe
you know what? He can still go have some fun on his birthday.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll be fine.
He's in Poland after all, and he can go have a good time. I'm sure there's lots of places to go and things to do.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Haven't gotten to do those things yet or see those places yet.
No?
Well, we've been pretty busy down here, of course.
Maybe we can before the weekend is over.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
Find some time.
We need to go to a couple of Polish restaurants to have some Polish food for sure.
I can't wait. I love pierogies.
I'm a big fan of those too.
Yeah.
A big fan.
I think the whole world is really.
But then on the other side of things, we have Polt, who, you know, the most recent tournament that has been just a couple of weeks back was the Industry Masters Cologne. And we saw something special when it came to his games in the playoffs. To be able to go through Classic, Rain, and then narrowly fall down to Liquid Hero. A remarkable performance when it came. And especially because if you think about it at that time, nobody could beat Protoss apparently, Artosis.
Yeah, supposedly not.
No, they were undefeatable.
A collective sigh from the Terran community when he finally did go down. But, you know, Polt played amazingly, and when you look at his opponents like Rain and Classic, those are two of the very best Protosses in the entire world, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Now, Polt is actually so good at this matchup, I think I've figured out how to counter him.
What's that?
You always defend exactly what would hurt you the most. So, like, for instance, when a little group of units come up to your third, you send units into your main, because there are medevacs on the way. You don't ever chase him, because he's not going to make a mistake like that. You're not going to chase down his army and pick it off like you do on the ladder or like you do against other Terrans. Those are the Terrans that lose in this matchup. That's not Polt.
I remember that one game between Polt and Liquid Hero just in that tournament a couple of weeks back on Daedalus Point. All 4 Nexus were destroyed within a minute time frame.
It's crazy stuff, man.
He likes to drop. He likes his units.
He likes to kill Nexuses, that's for sure. He likes medevac drops all the way from 1 to 4. Generally not going up to 5, but definitely not going up to 6.
That would be a world record up to 5 and 6.
Yeah, for Polt at least.
For Polt. But I think we have to look at this and say that we have to agree with the community, Artosis. The community are right.
Are they?
I have to go in their favor to say that, you know, Polt is the favorite here.
He is the favorite. I mean, he won 2 WCSs last year. He just got second in Cologne. And NaNiwa, we haven't really seen in tournaments lately.
No, the only thing he's played was the World Championship Series in the round of 32 in Europe, the Premier League.
Yeah,
he dropped out of.
Didn't look that good there, to be honest.
Yeah, he lost in the first round and was just completely eliminated from Season 1, compared to Polt, who, you know, is doing really well for himself currently, as you mentioned with his results. So just a really different scope of recent form, I think is the best way to describe it here. But we've seen miracle happens from NaNiwa in booths like this before.
Oh, no doubt about it. This guy is so good under the pressure. In fact, I would say he thrives under the pressure.
Yeah.
And a win like this over Polt would be exactly what his career needs to revitalize it.
Oh, you are so correct, Artosis. Imagine that if he was able to do well here today. And as you said, he can do well under pressure. I remember the tournament that actually qualified him to be here in New York. He had to get a top 2 finish, if not win the whole thing, to attempt to qualify for BlizzCon. Going into that, knowing that, and having that pressure on your shoulders,
especially that match against Hyun was just completely unbelievable, the way that went down.
Oh, Tosis, you are so right. I almost left my memory there, but you brought it right back up.
Yeah, I do that for you sometimes. We're like 2 peas in a pod, Apollo.
Really close.
So, looking at this, do you think, because basically everyone up here, except for Todd, thinks that Polt is going to take this, but how heavily do you think that Polt is going to take this?
If Polt's going to win, it's going to be 3-0-3-1.
3-0-3-1?
And, you know,
no 3-2s?
No 3-2s today.
You think if NaNiwa can win 2 games, he'll win 3?
Yep. Absolutely. I
like what you're saying. I like what you're saying. I think I'm going to agree with you.
You know, I'm very surprised at Todd's prediction of NaNiwa to win this, in all honesty.
Yeah.
It's a very bold statement, but he did smartly say there will be one result that he gets right, and everyone's going to be blown away.
Yeah, I guess so. Blown away that my picks would be wrong.
But you're not going to be wrong, and especially when we both pick the same.
There's just no chance, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm really looking forward to getting this started. The first map going to be Daedalus Point. What do you think about this map in TVP?
This is NaNiwa's map choice, actually. I think this can be played out very aggressively for NaNiwa here. I think he can get on top of things. He could open Blink. He could try to end this fast.
No.
Artosis.
Generally speaking, Protoss players do like this map against Terran, and I think that ending things fast is probably going to be the best choice for NaNiwa.
Doesn't want to let Polt get into a comfortable position.
No, certainly not. Well, if Polt gets to macro up a little bit and really get the units that he's comfortable with, almost no Protoss in the world can stop him. So for NaNiwa to stop him here today would be a tall order.
All right, well, this is the 3rd game from the round of 16 now that we're going to jump into. And we will see who will go in the top part of this bracket against all the Protoss players. It could be 4 Protoss players here in the top 4 of this upper bracket.
Oh, that would be
Polt
crazy.
could be the single Terran once again to stand strong against the Protoss players.
I think that definitely could be the case. And let's take a look up here in the top left. He's proxying. It is Alliance's NaNiwa.
You know what, Autosis? No crap today coming from NaNiwa. He's going straight for the throat.
Yep. Down in the bottom right, the person whose throat he's going straight for, it is Polt.
Do you or do you not think that Polt will scout around for stuff like this? Is that a part of his opening, do you think? To have a look for something so aggressive and, my favorite word, so cheeky?
You know what? Yeah, I think he is going to scout for it, Apollo. Oh, not yet. It's okay to not scout yet, though.
But against a Reaper opening, which is very common.
Yes, that's what Polt does like every single game.
This is a decent selection of build here.
It actually truly is, because if you look back at Polt's TVPs, he's almost always doing a Reaper to scout around, and especially in this match, he would choose to go Reaper because he's aware that NaNiwa may not be in his peak form.
That's true.
But this slow Reaper, how is this going to do against such a close-by proxy game?
With peak, form and being able to play a lot or not play a lot, I don't think that really affects your decision-making and your thought process that will go into a best-of-5 series. That NaNiwa throughout his career has just been on top of it, but...
Oh, and he sees it.
Well...
Just barely.
Barely, and all he needs to do now is make a wall off. And what really is the Gateway going to accomplish here?
Well, it's going to make him wall off really quickly. That's for sure.
Yeah. And this is going to be difficult to break, Autosis.
Indeed. I don't know how he's going to be able to do it. He's sending up this first Zealot now. We do have a Reaper coming out first on the way. And GG.
Not going to be able to do anything there.
No.
Polt picks
when you
up
see
that number 1.
When you see that wall and you proxy to Zealot, you know that you have just about no chance. So NaNiwa going to go ahead and exit that game quite promptly.
And, well, is Polt in that comfortable position that we thought he may get into with a victory here in map number 1, Autosis?
Well, I think he is in that comfortable position, especially considering this is a map where you're going to feel pretty good with what you're doing against Terran. But NaNiwa losing that. Do you think he's on tilt?
Not yet.
Not yet? You think he's totally calm right now? He's totally cool, gonna play his best?
Absolutely.
Okay. I agree with you.
Frost is the next map here, Autosis, in this best of 5.
It's a big map. Gonna be a little bit harder to proxy on if that's something that he wants to go for. You kind of have to guess where your opponent is, or take like a little percentage play on where you can put the gates in between. But I don't know that he's going to go for that here. I really doubt it.
Yeah, it's very difficult to predict exactly what NaNiwa is going to try to do in this next map. I think he's capable of anything. We've seen what he started up in map number 1 here. But I think Polt coming into this as a very solid player will be, especially after game number 1. Looking around, figuring out what is this guy trying to do to prevent me from actually moving on to the next round.
Now, what would you put the odds at for Polt on doing a Reaper opening again here?
Not as high as the previous map.
Really?
Yes.
Because I would put it higher than the previous map.
You would?
I would put it at 101% chance that he will go for a Reaper.
Is that because of the map or because of the way this series could potentially play out?
Both. Okay. I think it's because it's a 4-player map, a proxy, very unlikely. And of course that build is going to be a little bit stronger against a proxy in particular. So getting the quick Reaper out, and just because it's a 4-player map, how hard it can be to scout Protoss, he's got to get in and figure out what NaNiwa has planned. So I really feel like we're going to see him go ahead and go for, a quick Reaper.
All right, well, we'll have to look out for that in a couple of seconds' time. There's just waiting for both of these players to ready up so we can bring in this next one, but I don't think we can really ever put question marks around how Polt's going to do today, and of course be looking to do very well in this tournament, especially if he's able to move on here. He's looking in fantastic form.
If you think back, Polt has, out of all StarCraft players, the most experience winning $100,000 tournaments.
That is true. You are full of facts today.
I'm a factual type of guy.
That's right. That was in 2011, was that?
Yeah, the Super Tournament he was the champion of. So, I mean, Polt, this is a guy that he's not going to feel the pressure. You know, there's a few players coming in that I'm like, I don't think these guys are going to feel pressure. And that was Polt, that was MC, who was actually already eliminated. And who else was it? Maybe just those two.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Life. I'm going to go with Life. One of each race is not going to feel the pressure here.
All right, so still just waiting here on both of these players to go.
That's right. Just waiting on them getting all ready here. And we should be able to get going.
Do you think this can be a clean sweep from Polt?
I think that there is a good chance. As you said before, if NaNiwa can win 2 games, he can definitely win 3. So I think NaNiwa, he might be a little bit on tilt right now. He might be a little bit upset with how that game went and how quickly he had to leave. So Apollo, this is your second time here in Poland, right?
Correct.
How's this crowd compare to the first time for you?
This crowd has been pretty insane, especially when I was able to cast the first game, Autosis.
Oh God, yes.
It was pretty wild, and I'm sure they're looking forward towards a lot of good games over these next few days. And how is your experience of the Spodek Arena for the first time, Autosis?
I can't even believe how many people are here. This is like, more people are watching this than BlizzCon, I believe. I mean, I don't have numbers to back that up, but it feels like it, just with so many people in those stands rising to the ceiling. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, there's so many people that turned up here, and I remember as we were walking in today, you could hardly believe the amount of people that were outside queuing, waiting to come in. And it is good to be back here once again for the World Championship. NaNiwa, just still waiting on him, as you can probably tell. Polt is ready to go, and we will potentially start in a second. But, you know, coming back to that question that you asked me when I said, no, not yet, my answer may have changed to the question that you asked, do you think NaNiwa is a little bit emotionally involved already?
Yeah, it seems with the amount of time he's taking here that definitely something has to be going on in his head. He's definitely not happy with losing that first game in such a manner.
We could, remember, you would have been the commentator for it. Remember the NaNiwa and ST game a long time ago?
Actually, no, I did not commentate that one.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah, that was...
was it Wolf and Caldor?
I believe it was Wolf and Caldor that commentated that one.
Oh, okay. Hello! These guys are having a lot of fun here, Autosis.
Indeed. Not half as much fun as you and I, Apollo.
We together always have the most of fun when casting. Which is I mean, apart from the games that we've already seen in this one, from the lower half of the bracket, is there a match that stands out for you down in the lower half?
In the lower half?
Are you looking forward to maybe the Tasia Stardust game? That's the one that a lot of people are looking forward to.
I know a lot of people are looking forward to that, but for me, it's not so much. I think that Revival Jockji might be the most entertaining series because I think it's really, really, really close. Like, I give both those guys 50%, to be honest. Maybe just 50.01 for Revival or something. But I think Rogue Life is pretty awesome, too, because I think those are two of really the favorites for the tournament.
All right, well... while we just wait for NaNiwa to prepare himself for this next game, we are going to hand it over to the analysis desk. So take it away, guys.
Thank you very much. Yes, so 1-0 right now to Polt. Todd, I don't want to malign you, but I've known you for a very long time. You have been a player in the past who has struggled sometimes with environments and what have you.
Don't sugarcoat it.
All right, I'm just going to say it. You were a nightmare sometimes, but with due reason as well. I will admit that with due reason. What is going through NaNiwa's mind? Put yourself in that position.
I think he's upset about the soundproof thing. Like, he thinks that Polt probably heard the audience or something about his proxy, but I have to wonder right now. And there is probably already somebody on it. Unless you're gonna show me research that Polt goes for a depot at his ramp and then doesn't check for proxies in your natural, there is no way the audience actually making sounds is why he checks his expansion. I think Polt, he goes for the depot at his ramp so that he doesn't get in-base proxied, and then he checks for the he's one of the most solid players out there.
smart,
How does this guy not check for expansions? If you show me like 10 games, the last 10 games that he played against Protoss, him not scanning for expansions, then okay, I might agree. And even then, like he's playing against NaNiwa, somebody that we know going to this match is an underdog. Of course, you're going to be playing extra safe against this guy.
Okay.
There is no way.
We know that NaNiwa can be very sensitive to these kind of things. This also affects Polt in a way because he now has to sit there and think, what's going on? Are we going to get in game? Are we not going to get it? What's going on? So from a Polt point of view, Katowice, what's going through his mind?
I think Polt's pretty calm, actually. I would say that Polt's pretty calm. I think he's expecting NaNiwa to be aggressive in all of these games, and I think he's expecting to just go into it very defensively minded, very open-minded about what his opponent's going to throw at him, just scout diligently, and from that point on, execute.
Do you think he's annoyed about the fact the breaks are longer than the games?
I'm sure he's having a field day, man. I'm sure he's like loving life. He's like checking Twitter. He's like, oh yeah, that's cool.
I feel like this was a foolish attempt by NaNiwa. And again, I haven't particularly done research to see if Polt never checks for proxies, but I would expect a player like him to always do so. So if you proxy like this, and it's not like the audience cheered and then he checked for the proxy. He went for the regular depot up his ramp, the barracks, and then he went for the regular scouts that you go for to see what your opponent is up to.
Yeah. Okay. Difficult, always difficult for the player. I feel for the players in this situation. I really do, for both of them actually, because these kind of things are never nice. Even if there is, a hint of the fact that the player is uncomfortable in some way, I would rather see them, given the opportunity to figure it out. And we're obviously doing that right now with NaNiwa. You can see him discussing it with Graham, one of our admins. And hopefully, I mean, he has the option if he wants to forfeit. He has that option. Okay, that's open to all players. He can stop the match if he wants to, but that's up to him. And there's nothing we can do to influence. But I absolutely would not want to see that right now, and I know you guys wouldn't want to either. So I'm hearing in my ear actually that he has decided to forfeit, which I think is a real shame.
Santa's not going to come for him this year.
Well,
because he's been a bad boy.
We're literally just hearing this in our ear right now. Reactions initially, Todd, to that. I mean, I'm not going to beat around the bush. You've been in this position.
I've actually forfeited one tournament, and the only reason was because they were very unreasonable about the situation, and they came to me and they were like, are you going to play or you're not going to play? You have basically 30 seconds to decide. And because they were so freaking rude about it, I forfeited. But if they had gone about it like decently, like I'm sure now our admin went to him and he was like trying to reason with him a little bit, I would not have done so. So now I think he's just pissed off about the way it went.
Here's the thing. At the end of the day, Intel Extreme Masters New York was a long time ago when NaNiwa was able to qualify into this position. We don't know what's happened in between that particular time frame, and it should always be his prerogative to say, if I don't want to play, I don't want to play. I think that's the best of anything. Like, if he doesn't want to play, he doesn't want to play.
From a neutral's point of view and from a fan's point of view, I'm talking from my heart here. I still find it very disappointing. I would absolutely want
everyone sees that. Yeah. But again, like for NaNiwa, it's his life, man. It's his life. He does what he wants to do, and in the end, he is one of those foreign hopes. He's one of the guys that a lot of people look to for inspiration in terms of that regard. But it's his life. That's how I see it.
Okay, so Polt will advance through in very disappointing circumstances. I'm sure he won't. I know Polt well, and I know that he won't be happy at having just been given that match in effect. I mean, he's 1-0 up, so you could argue that he's ahead, but he still hasn't done enough of the job. It also means he's got slightly less of a match time, as it were, going into tomorrow now as well.
I'm sure he's going to make sure he's warmed up enough.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
and also he reveals less. As much as he's not getting as much official in-game time, which again proves that you're in good shape, proves that you're well focused. He's not revealed anything. He's revealed that he makes a depot of his ramp and then scouts for proxies.
True.
And the thing is that whenever we see Polt playing recently, he's not playing in like GSL or something like that. He's always playing in tournaments that are like long marathons, be it an MLG in the past, be it like a DreamHack, be it the Intel Extreme Masters like he played in Cologne. Now, the interesting thing about this tournament is technically he has to play 1 series or 2 series a day. If you give a player like Polt the opportunity to just...
I think they wanted to see more games.
Yeah, disappointing way to see NaNiwa. The only foreigner left in the tournament, of course, as well. Bow out there, and the crowd making themselves heard over there. They're obviously disappointed as well. So, Polt will advance. We've had 3 through so far. In the way that we've seen the matches go, just ignoring the one that we've just seen, any surprises so far from the 3 matches, do you think? Or are we about right?
All my predictions were wrong, but they were not real predictions.
I was looking at him, Kalaris, when I asked
that.
Yeah.
It's fine, it's fine.
So are you 0 for 3?
Well,
not voluntarily.
I'm not. I'm not 0 for 3. Arthur's is 3-0. And by the way, I have a theory. The Arthur's curse does not apply until it's like the final matches. I can tell you right now, he's gonna get the finals wrong or the semifinals.
You can't make it up as you go along.
I'm calling you out, Arthur's.
And Polt is just packing up his stuff right now and leaving. And there you go.
Quickest series of his life.
Getting a cheer from the crowd as well. And hopefully we can get his thoughts in just a moment as well. I don't know. I think we've had a bit of everything so far in 3 matches. We've had a fantastic match at the start. We've had a very straightforward stomp, or a bop, as Artosis would call it, in match number 2. And we've had controversy in match number 3. Let's hear from the winner.
All right, I'm standing here with our winner by unusual means, Polt. Congratulations. You have a lot of fans here. I mean, maybe you can't see it at home, but there are Polt signs everywhere. These people are freaking out for Polt. How does it make you feel coming so far from home and so far from where you're training and see that kind of support?
To be honest, I think this is first time to play on this big stage with the big crowd. Even though the kind of sad thing, bad thing happened, but I feel still happy because of them.
How do you feel about the rest of the tournament? Are you the Protoss killer?
The broadcast says my first opponent was Protoss. My next opponent definitely Protoss. If I advance, then one more Protoss. And there's still chance I play the Protoss in the finals. I should be the Protoss killer.
Well, thank you very much. The best of luck in the rounds coming up. I'll be cheering for you too. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
And we're going to go to a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with more StarCraft 2 action.